They only wanted to explore an abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of town. James and Emily were weekend explorers, old places, forgotten houses. Lost histories fascinated them, but this time they didn't just find history. They found her, a small porcelain doll, dusty, cracked, with a faded name stitched on her dress. Anabela. The farmhouse looked untouched for decades. Rusted tools still hung on the walls, and children's drawings were scattered on the wooden floor. In one of the rooms, they found a tiny bed, a broken rocking chair, and sitting there, perfectly upright, was the doll. When Emily picked it up, something fell from its pocket. A tiny, dye-worn, yellowed the pages, delicate like dried leaves. The first page read, "Property of Eliza. If found, please return to me. Room upstairs." The last page was dated 80 years ago. The handwriting was shaky, frightened. "He keeps looking for me at night. If anything happens to me, don't let Anabela out of your sight. She remember him." They took the doll home. Just for one night, just to clean it, just curiosity. But at 3:15 a.m., Emily woke up to a sound, rustle, like paper sliding across wood. She followed the sound to the hallway. There, on the floor, was a page from the diary. But they left the diary in the car, the writing on the page. "He's still here." Emily rushed back to the bedroom. The doll wasn't on the shelf anymore. It was sitting on the floor facing the door. The next morning, Emily searched old town archives. She found something. The farmhouse belonged to the Weston family. In 1943, their daughter, Eliza Weston, disappeared. No body was ever found. Witnesses claimed the father was mentally unstable, always saying someone was coming for his daughter. Some entries from Eliza's diary said, "He knocks at my window every night. Mother can't see him, but I can. He wants me to follow him into the woods." The last record about the family. House found empty. Parents gone. Eliza gone. Only the doll was left. That night, Emily recorded everything with her phone. She placed the doll in the living room. At 3:15 a.m., the recording captured it. First, the creak of the rocking chair. Then, a voice. Not a child's voice. Not a human voice. It whispered, barely audible. "He's here again!" Emily screamed. James ran into the room. The doll was sitting in the rocking chair, gently, slowly, moving back and forth. Behind it, on the wall written, in the dust were childlike words, "Don't let him take me." James wanted to get rid of the doll. Emily refused. "It's trying to tell us something." So they went back to the farmhouse, doll in hand. Deeper inside, they found a small door in the floor in old Sayar. Inside lay a rusted box, and in it more diary pages. These weren't from Eliza. They were from her mother. "Eliza keeps talking to someone we can't see. She says he wears no face. She said he lives in the woods." One sentence was scratched violently into the page. "He wants her to join the other children beneath the trees." That night, Emily placed the doll back in her room. At exactly 3:15 a.m., the power went out. Emily grabbed her phone and turned on the flashlight. The doll was gone. From the hallway came soft footsteps, then whispering, but this time it wasn't just his hair. It was clearer. Closer. "He's in the room with you." Her phone flickered. For a second, the camera showed a tall, dark figure standing behind her. The screen went black. The next morning, James found the house silent. Front door open. Emily gone. Only the doll remained sitting on their bed holding the diary. Open to a new page. Fresh ink. "She's with us now. Don't let him find another." The house was unnaturally silent. James stood frozen as he stared at the doll seated on the bed. The same cold porcelain face, the same lifeless glass eyes, but now holding the diary open to a page that hadn't existed before. No sign of Emily. No footprints. No struggle. Just the front door gently swaying with the breeze, as though someone had left, or something had entered. James called the police. They searched the house, the fields outside, the nearby woods. No trace of Emily was found. Her phone, however, was discovered in the hallway. Screen cracked, recording still on. The last second showed her flashlight pointed at a dark figure. Then static. Then silence. The officers treated it as a missing person case. They took statements, looked through the old farmhouse, questioned neighbors, but none of them touched the doll. Something about it made even the bravest of them keep their distance. That night, James could not sleep. He sat alone in the living room, staring at the doll he swore he had moved into a box. Yet now, it sat on the couch across from him. The diary lay open beside it. Another page had appeared. The handwriting was different. Not old, faded writing like the rest. This writing was fresh, rough, in trembling strokes. Don't let him take me like he took her. James stepped back. He checked the front door. It was locked. He checked the windows. Locked. Yet the wind whispered through the house like breath. He stayed awake until sunrise. In the morning, James opened the diary fully for the first time. But now, between the final old pages, there were additional sheets, loosely tucked between the binding. These hadn't been there before. They were written by a woman, not Eliza, the missing child, but by her mother. The entries told a different story. She wrote of a figure Eliza saw outside her window every night. A figure that no one else could see. A man with no face, taller than any man, with long arms that reached the ground. He never spoke. He only watched. She wrote that Eliza began sleepwalking into the woods, always toward the same tree line behind the farmhouse. She wrote that sometimes she heard two sets of footsteps, her daughter's soft ones, and a heavier, dragging sound behind her. Her final entry was smeared. As though written in panic, Eliza says he wants her to join the other children beneath the trees. Tonight, the doll stays with her. It remembers what we can't. James drove to the farmhouse once more. The air felt colder than before. The trees behind the property stood like silent giants, their branches twisted like fingers pointing inward. He followed the path that locals said children once used to play on. The deeper he walked, the quieter the world became. No birds, no insects, just wind and distant creaks. Then, eso italiano. Tiny objects hanging from the trees, faintly swaying. Small toys, broken shoes, rusted hairpins, a child's ribbon. Names carved into a large oak tree trunk, faded but still visible under the bark. Eliza Ruth, Michael Sarand, and beneath them, carved more recently. Emily. James stepped back. Underneath the roots of the old tree, he noticed something else. A broken wooden cross, half buried in the dirt, and beside it, a small porcelain shoe, matching the doll. Near the tree base, the ground felt hollow. James knelt down, brushing leaves aside. A wooden trapdoor. He pried it open. It led to a small underground room, untouched for decades. The smell of damp soil and mold filled the air. Inside were more toys, arranged in a circle. 5 old dolls, one spot empty. In the center, a rotted wooden chair, straps on the arms, and on the wall, scratched over and over again. He lives in the spaces between the trees. He takes the forgotten ones. Don't let the doll leave her alone. James heard a sound then. Not footsteps, not breathing, humming, a lullaby. The same one Emily used to hum absent-mindedly. Bautista, coming from beneath the ground. When he turned around to leave, he saw the diary lying on the dirt floor. A new page, written in Emily's handwriting. Don't look for me. You'll hear him soon. He has my voice now. James ran. He didn't remember how he got home. Only that night fell quickly. He locked all the doors, closed every window. But at 3:15 a.m., the house became colder. On the bed sat the doll, holding the diary, opened the final page. Fresh ink. Two are with us now.